Today we've got something that's been making waves in the cryptid community. A still frame from a trail cam that allegedly shows what could be a Bigfoot. Take a look. At first glance, we see what appears to be a large, dark figure, partially obscured by vegetation. The lighting is intense, casting strong highlights across the foliage, but the central subject, roughly mid-frame, is unmistakably different from its surroundings. It's broad-shouldered, upright, and has a silhouette consistent with many previous Bigfoot sighting reports. The figure stands in a slightly forward-leaning posture, typical of bipedal locomotion. What's most intriguing is the sheer bulk. It looks too large to be a human in casual hiking gear, especially considering the thickness of the upper torso and arm region. There's no visible neck, which aligns with many eyewitness reports describing Bigfoot as having a head sunk into the shoulders appearance. The image is taken in dense brush, which adds credibility. This isn't a popular hiking trail or a place you'd easily reach in costume. The lighting suggests it was shot in early morning or late afternoon, judging by the long, angled sun rays piercing through the canopy. Even though this is a still, there's a faint blur to the subject, suggesting movement. This supports the claim that the creature wasn't stationary, which aligns with the eyewitness report stating it moves swiftly between bushes. Could this be a person in a gorilla suit or bulky hunting gear? Possibly. Give your opinion in the comments below. A guy was out filming nature, simply enjoying the peaceful scenery, when something unexpected crossed his path. Out of a bush, a large, bulky figure suddenly emerged. It didn't stick around. It moved quickly, striding straight into another patch of brush. The footage was soon labeled as some of the clearest evidence ever captured, but watching it back, it feels more like someone in a furry costume than a real mythical creature wandering the woods. At least, that's my take. A man was camping alone deep in the forest when he noticed movement between the trees nearby. From a distance, it was hard to tell. Perhaps a large man, or maybe something else entirely. Despite the uncertainty, he decided to stay the night. As darkness settled in, strange sounds stirred him from sleep. Looking into the shadows, he saw something.
What is that? Looks like eye shine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Should I whistle?
Unnervingly calm, he knocked on a nearby tree. Suddenly, glowing eyes appeared right in front of him.
I'll try one last thing, tree knock. I hear it. Oh, what a stupid thing went. Oh, wait. Damn it.
This was the last footage he uploaded, but thankfully, it seems he made it out alive. Now we're taking a close look at a photo that's been circulating among cryptid circles, allegedly snapped by a hiker deep in the Pacific Northwest. At first glance, it might seem like just another shot of the wilderness, but take a closer look toward the center, just beyond the brush, and you'll see it. A dark, upright figure, seemingly out of place in the natural flow of the forest. Centrally located just behind the foreground branches, the figure appears tall and solid. It has the familiar conical head shape and wide shoulders often reported in Bigfoot encounters. The stance is upright and slightly hunched, with arms appearing to hang loosely by the sides. There's no obvious sign of clothing, and the uniformity of color suggests fur or dense hair. Importantly, it doesn't look like it's aware of the camera. It seems to be mid-stride or pausing during movement. The body seems too bulky and long-limbed for an average human, and the ratio of torso to legs appears slightly off from standard human anatomy. The figure blends remarkably well into the environment, which could either support its natural origin or indicate a clever costume built for blending in. While the photo isn't crystal clear, it's far better than most blurry Bigfoot images. The figure is clearly distinguishable, but just far enough to remain mysterious. This photo is compelling. It walks that fine line between just blurry enough to raise questions, but clear enough to ignite curiosity. Whether it's the real deal or not, it adds to the growing body of wilderness anomalies we keep tracking. Let me know what you think. Costume, coincidence, or the real thing? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bigfoot breakdown. During an emergency stop of a train in Ohio near the city of Akron, a camera on the back of the carriage captured something amazing. We can see a bipedal upright figure that crosses the railway tracks. We can clearly see the excessive hairiness of the Bigfoot. Long enough arms and height can tell us that it is really a Bigfoot. And what do you think? Share in the comments section. A man who wanted to walk his dog in the yard filmed a Bigfoot hiding behind a tree. Let's take a look. I hope the man is okay, and the dog managed to go to the toilet. A man had a security camera set up inside his, pointed directly at a window. For weeks he had been noticing strange occurrences outside, that shadowy figures appearing to stare in, along with unsettling noises just beyond. Feeling unnerved and beginning to question his own sanity, he decided to install the camera to catch whatever was happening. For the first few nights, nothing. He captured a massive dark figure outside its glowing eyes locked onto. Even though the footage is dimly, you can make out what looks like thick black fur covering its body. Whatever this, it's huge, easily larger than any ordinary animal you'd expect near a house. At first, the homeowner assumed it was just a very large bear, but the more he analyzed the footage, the more he began to doubt that theory. The way it moved, its posture, its shape, it all seemed far too human. That's when he uploaded the clip online, hoping for answers. But the responses he received only deepened. The cryptozoologists and online viewers quickly jumped into the discussion. Some claimed it was a dogman, citing its broad, muscular build, the pronounced snout visible in certain frames, and its canine-like head. Others were convinced it had to be a Bigfoot, pointing to the thick fur, sheer size, and upright stance. In one particular moment, as the creature leans forward, it almost resembles a massive dog in both face and form. The debate continues with no clear consensus. Was it a Bigfoot stalking the property? A dogman lurking in the night? Or could it all have been a well-executed hoax, as some skeptics suggest? Let me know what you think in the comments below. A guy was casually filming himself while hiking through the forest. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until he accidentally caught this.
It's the beginning of May. This area technically, growing season is June 1st, so it could still snow again. That's why the trees aren't going to take their chances coming out yet. Now this one we drove by, it didn't look like it was clogged, but we'll see. That's why the trees aren't going to take their chances coming out yet. Now this one we drove by, it didn't look like it was clogged, but we'll see.
In the background, a tall, dark, broad figure appears to be lurking between the trees. Strangely, he doesn't seem to notice it at all. It wasn't until the video went online that viewers picked up on it. They slowed it down frame by frame, convinced they'd spotted something unsettling. The figure never moves. But is this just a case of pareidolia, or did he unknowingly capture something far more mysterious? The following video is taken from Cryptic World. In the video, the author, going out for a smoke on his working day, decided to take pictures of the beauty of nature when he suddenly heard strange noises, and then something happened to him. Let's take a look.
Wow, that is so far away though. Guys, look at this. Oh my god. Wow. This thing is just standing out in the open, guys. Just standing right there looking at me this whole time. Looks like its head swaying. Wow, guys, this is awesome. I knew I heard something. And that's far away.
In the video, we can see a figure in the undergrowth that closely resembles a young member of the Bigfoot family. We can clearly see that the creature stands on two legs and has a conical head, but the size of this creature is confusing. Its shape is unmistakably humanoid, but noticeably bulky. She has no visible signs of clothing, and her entire figure is dark, in accordance with the descriptions of the Bigfoot, who has hair or fur of the same color. When zoomed in, and yes, we zoomed in, the head is positioned low in relation to the shoulders, and the arms appear long in relation to the torso. It doesn't match the physique of an ordinary person. There is also a slight forward tilt in the pose, which is often mentioned by eyewitnesses of the movement of the Bigfoot, almost like a natural instinct developed when moving in dense thickets. One of the most exciting and disturbing aspects of Bigfoot encounters is not only the visual observations, but also the sounds. Eyewitnesses across North America and beyond report hearing deep, resonant sounds echoing through forests and mountains. A man was walking through the woods near his house on a weekend evening when he suddenly heard terrifying noises and decided to make a video. Let's take a look. In the video, we hear scary guttural and low sounds, presumably made by a creature larger than a human. One could say that these are sounds related to something mechanical, but no, there is nothing similar nearby that could make such a sound. These sounds resemble the sound of a large ship. Many Bigfoot audio recordings contain long, prolonged howls or roars that reverberate through the trees like a distant siren in the fog. These low frequencies are felt rather than heard. They seem to vibrate in your chest. Ships use fog horns to signal their presence in conditions of poor visibility, and the Bigfoot seems to declare itself in a similar, maybe to warn, or maybe to contact. Strangely enough, dense forests and deep oceans aren't all that different from each other. Both are vast, echoing, and largely unexplored. So perhaps it makes sense to assume that something as mysterious as Bigfoot can speak in tones that remind us of what lurks in the... While vacationing with his parents in the Appalachian Mountains, a brave boy was walking along local trails when he suddenly saw something.
My driveway for a few minutes now. I've been walking in the woods. I'm hearing really loud and weird noises. I feel like it could be Bigfoot. I am on the Appalachian Trail right now. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to get evidence of this. I'm gonna ease into that barn house up there. I was hearing the noises up there. I feel like
Despite the shaking camera, we can make out a two-legged figure that crosses the road. The boy runs away in fear. Let's take a closer look. This is what James W. had to say. If you look closely, there is a lamppost in the back of that video. A few days after the video, I measured how tall it was, and it measured just under 8 feet tall. No doubt in my mind that was the real deal. Some proof I do have that that was not a person is the lamp it ran past I later measured, and it is 7 feet 8.5 inches of the ground. The Appalachian Mountains are quite popular in Bigfoot testimonies. Southern Bigfoot reports from the 1970s. Several reports from tourists traveling through the Appalachian region in the 1970s described encounters with a creature that was later dubbed the Southern Bigfoot. These reports were mainly concentrated in Tennessee, North Carolina, and West Virginia, and concerned sightings of large, dark creatures on trails and in remote areas. I want to hear your opinion in the comments section, because this one's still wide open for interpretation. The following footage was posted the other day by the RMSO channel. In this video, the author says that while returning on foot through a remote canyon, he came across something he did not expect. Fresh 19-inch footprint. On the way up the trail, Birdie and Jenny built a small rock slide just for fun, especially since we had already seen similar formations in the area. But on the way back, we discovered another new pile of rocks that definitely wasn't there before. She looked fresh. That's when we started scanning the area around, and of course, we found fresh prints right in front of him. Now he's taking one of the clearest prints. It's deep, crisp, and unmistakably large. Jenny is still following the trail, and along the way, we notice that the trees form a pattern of cliffs. It seems that the creature is walking right through them. He was walking along a stream, and we estimated that the distance between the prints averaged 64 inches. This is a huge step far beyond human reach. He is sure that these footprints are fresh. They passed this place on their way here. Now that they heard distant screams and found other signs similar to palm prints, it became clear that someone was following or watching them. This footage, captured on October 21st, 2018, comes from our late friend and respected Bigfoot researcher from Tennessee, Scott Carpenter. On that day, Scott set up a plot watcher trail camera in a known Bigfoot hotspot while hiking through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. He left the camera running for a few hours, and during that time, a sasquatch reportedly followed him to the location. Even more chilling, it appears the creature observed him as he returned to collect the camera. Take a look. At the very moment when he came to pick up the camera at the installation, he zoomed in on the camera, and we can see the figure hiding in the bushes. We can clearly see the head and half of the face. Next, the author compares his height with the estimated size of the creature, and it turns out that the height of this creature is about 7.5 feet. Also, the size of the head varies greatly. The creature's head is huge compared to Scott's head. Do you think Scott managed to film Bigfoot in his real habitat? Or is this a case of pareidolia?